Hey everyone, and welcome to my very first video, and today I will be explaining what the frick is going to be happening on this very special channel of mine. Now, first of all, I've been wanting to do this ever since I was like 12 years old, like around, let's say, like the golden age of YouTube, like around with like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, were all like inspirations for me, I would say. But really the inspiration really here is, I would say, the Shogun himself, Corey X Kenshin, and I would say Dashi Games. But I did, I think I met Dashi through his skit channel, but I'm not gonna get into that because that's not like gaming related. Now with that said, what games will I be playing? Or should I say, what type of games will I be playing? As you can see, my motto for the channel literally says, playing every game one step at a time. And I do mean that. Like, I really want to play every genre of games, and I would say mainly I want to focus more on non-horror because I'm super bad with horror games. And oh man, you guys are gonna have to pay me to play horror games. Oh man, that's gonna be super awful. I'm gonna even have my friends gonna have to be paying for me if they want me to play horror games too. We're gonna do like request, I don't know, Fridays, Saturdays, I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something eventually, but those are the games I do want to play. And the first thing I want to start off with is Pokemon, and that's the game I wanted to always start with. Now what I mean when I say playing every game one step at a time, it doesn't mean I'm gonna play every single game, obviously, because I'm not gonna be able to survive for that long to play every single game out there, but at least try to play as most as I can and see why people enjoy, what games they like, and I want to see if it becomes one of my faves. That's the beauty of just being open-minded about things. So yeah, I want to enjoy some new series that I never really touched during my childhood, or retouch some of my favorite games again, because I'm gonna do a Year of the Dragon playlist and to replay just like old games that I used to play back in the day, while also trying their newest games that they made. And yeah, I'll just keep it straightforward. Like, I just want to play every game, like just try to touch every single game out there, while of course enjoying the game and treating this YouTube channel kind of like an archive in a way, to show proof that I did play it and I enjoyed it and all of that. Yeah, and that should wrap up most of the reasons why I wanted to make this channel and stuff. So now I should be explaining what my OC is all about, the icons in the background, the name, and just a bit more info about myself before we can get this channel fired up with some content. And to get this started, I named it JohnnyDJokage because Johnny, also my real name being John, I wanted to have it Johnny because Johnny just sounds younger than John. And D stands for dragon, but you can also say it's also a way of saying how much I love One Piece, because obviously Monkey D. Luffy is his name, and I love Luffy so much, and he's one of my favorite characters of all time, but I'll get into that later. And Jokage having two things that I like. Obviously it's gonna be Naruto from the Hokage part and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with the Joe part, and I'll get into that detail later on into this video. Now to explain my OC here, it was made by my girlfriend, and she does amazing art, and she really knows how to make an OC here. Look how beautiful he looks. That's me right there. But I want to be explaining a little bit, starting off with I love the color red, that's why my jacket's red, and also my secondary color is blue, and I do love the color white and black. Those are my other favorite colors, and I just kept it simple because I'm a pretty simple guy, and I do like streetwear, I do like sporty looks, so that's why the options of clothing I have here is what it is. And the bandage around my hand is actually supposed to represent how much I love punching characters, or I don't know, kind of abilities, or like it's just like a way of like how I like to fight, is like with fists. So obviously I keep it like that. Black hair just to keep it normal. Like everything is just simple, the colors, everything and all that. And yeah, that's all I gotta explain for my OC here. And along with that is all the banners, and she also made that as well, which has 12 icons, and I'm going to be explaining that right now. To start it all off, we got the number 24 here. It is my birth number, my lucky number, or you can also say my favorite number, because we also started the channel aligning perfectly with my birthday and the year 2024, and my favorite color is red. That's why that number 24 is colored red. Now the next symbol or icon you want to call it is the Chinese zodiac. I loved and always portrayed with is the dragon, and this has become one of my favorite animals. And specifically this is going to be the metal dragon. That's why it's kind of grayish silver and all that. That's just something like has always been with me and stood out. Maybe that's why I like dragons so much, and that's why it's called JohnnyDJokage, because D is for me, I'm gonna call it dragon. And yeah, that explains it pretty well. Now the next icon here we have is a controller, because my first console was the GameCube, and that was thanks to my dad. And I started playing around the age of 3, which I'll never forget, because because that's, you know, how he introduced me to video games in the first place. And I would say, like, an additional fun fact, I also played the Game Boy as well with a PS1, PS2, but those were just like faint memories of mine. And yeah, that's how I got into video games. And the next one here is a wheel on fire. This also represents racing because the very first video game I ever played was a racing game, and that was Need for Speed Underground. And that game is hella goated, and that was also right before my dad left me. It's okay though, but you know, like, I gotta say I appreciate that he introduced me to games, and you know, that was the very first game. And yeah, we'll just leave it there. Now this next icon is very important to me because this is the reason why I wanted to start a channel in the first place, and it is a Pokeball. You know, one of the games I enjoyed a ton as a kid actually was Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I don't know if people know that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that, if you know, if you're like 20 or something, but I enjoyed that game a lot, along with Coliseum and Pokemon Channel. Like, I don't know if you guys know those games as well, but I know I just remember my uncle lending me, like, you know, the GameCube games that he had. I don't think it was mine, but I still enjoyed it. And yeah, and another fun fact, I think I also played a Game Boy that also had Pokemon, like Fire Red and Emerald specifically, and those were super fun to me. I think I also, like, I remember playing those games like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Coliseum, and my uncles would actually catch the Pokemon for me, and then, you know, I would jump and cheer like all over the couch, or like just dance. Like that was just like the time, man. And I guess that's how I started to love Pokemon so much. Now the next symbol here is the reason why I love Nintendo, you know, back in the day, you know, and it's gonna be Mario's cap, because one of those games were Mario Sunshine that like affected me, you know, like a lot, because that's how much I loved Mario games and just like the Mario genre in general, or Mario series, not genre. I don't know why I said that. Like Mario Sunshine, which is that good, and Paper Mario, and just even Mario in Super Smash Bros. Like Melee, because it had Mario in it. And you know, there's some other games I enjoyed as with Mario in it. It was like Mario Tennis, Mario Soccer, and like Super Strikers, I think that's what it's called. But most especially I enjoyed like Double Dash. Double Dash was a thing back then. And I would say also Mario Party as well. I don't know, there's just too many. And I think there was a DDR pad that I had. I can go on with, like, you know, Mario for a long time, but I think I'm not gonna get into that. But yes, Mario Cap is gonna be one of the icons, because that's also a reason why I love Nintendo games for such a long time, and I still do to this day. And this next one's gonna be, you know, pretty straightforward how much I love shonen in general, and it's gonna be the Naruto's Headband, because this was the first ever shonen I ever watched, like back in 2006, thanks to my uncle. And you know, like I say, Naruto was the GOAT, and will always remind me like where I started, specifically in shonen anime. But it wasn't the first anime I ever watched. I probably like watched like 20 animes way before Naruto. And I'll just tell you another fun fact, my first anime ever was Karen. Yeah, vampire chick. Anyways, let's get into the next one. And this next one is also something very important to me, because this anime is the reason why I live for anime, and it's one of my favorite shonens of all time, and I would never replace it. And it's gonna be One Piece, aka also Luffy's hat. And that's also thanks to my uncle as well. I have a lot of uncles, by the way. I'm not gonna name them here in this video, by the way, so keep that in mind. I think I remember, you know, him mentioning this, like this show One Piece, and I remember I searched it up myself like around 2007-ish, which is, I think, was around Water 7 or Enies Lobby's arc. And you know, on my own, I wanted to watch myself because I just loved Luffy's character and it made me laugh. And you know, as a kid, that easily entertained me. And you know, to this day, you know, Luffy is still my #1 favorite character of all time, and it's so hard to replace him, you know. And to top of all that, I love the Strawhat so much because, you know, they're so family, you know, from Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, Jinbei, you know, they travel all together, and you know, that's something I like, you know, traveling together while trying to, you know, conquer their dreams. And to this day, they're still going, and I don't know what's gonna stop One Piece for me, but yeah, I had to pick Luffy's Straw Hat here just to represent One Piece and Luffy in general. And yeah, oh my god, that was a lot. Okay, let's get into the next icon here, and that next icon being Chimchar, my favorite Pokemon of all time, and also my favorite generation. And I gotta say, this is the reason why I love fire type Pokemon so much. And this was around December of 2007 when the game came out, like around Christmas Day, because that's when I got Pokemon Diamond. And you know, I just remember in the back of my head, my mom used to call me Baby Monkey because of my big ears back then. And I think that's why I really love Chimchar, because, you know, the monkey part, and also you can say like Monkey D. Luffy, or maybe, you know, what is it called, like the fire stuff. I don't know, I just thought it was so cool, and I always would choose fire type from then on, usually sometimes, except for Grookey and the Galar, but because that's a monkey. But I'm not gonna get into that. That's the reason why Chimchar is one of the icons here, because he's just a good monkey boy. That's it. That's just straightforward. And you know, also around that time is when I played Pokemon games on my own without any help, and Chimchar was there for me. And I gotta say that Chimchar is my favorite, and I do have a little plush of him. I'm not gonna take a picture, but I'll show it sometime one day, just not right now. Now this next icon is pretty basic. It's just a fire icon, and I just love the fire element, and if ever I get the chance in any game, I would always choose the fire element, and that's pretty much it. Like, what else can I explain? It's fire, dude. Fire is fire. Like, okay, let's get to the next icon. Now there's two more icons after this, and this icon is gonna be the fist with bandage, because, you know, this is also something I really gotta explain, is that I really like punching characters. Like, I love anything that has to deal with melee, and maybe that's why I love Luffy and Chimchar so much. Maybe that's why I like Mario and Captain Falcon as my main in melee. And like, also as well, my OC also has the same bandage, and actually it's the right hand specifically, because I'm right-handed. And like, to mention, you know, fighting games, I would say I think Street Fighter and Tekken and Mortal Kombat were also part of my childhood, but that was like later on, and that's thanks to my uncles for, you know, introducing those games to me, you know, on the PlayStation and the PSP. You know, like also like Ryu and Ken and all that, M. Bison, Jury, even though Jury is not really of a, you know, a punching girl. But now I'm getting off topic. Okay, let's get to the last icon, and the last icon out of the 12 is going to be a menacing writing from JoJo's, because this is the most recent anime I have enjoyed, and I wish I've watched it sooner. I really wished I watched it sooner. I freaking love Jotaro. I love the Stardust Crusaders. I love Giorno, you know, Josuke, Joseph, most especially Joseph. Joseph is so funny, and there's nothing really to it. I just really love the art style. It's so funny, you know, it's just very unique, and there's nothing really to it. I really had to I struggled trying to find a 12th icon, but I gotta give it to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And now, after I explain all those 12 icons, I just want to show you guys quickly a 3x3s of my top 10, aka you can just say top 9, because I cannot put 10, of my top 9 childhood games, recently enjoyed games, and games I want to play on this channel. Now, as you can see, there's 9 games here. We got Pokemon XD Gale Darkness, we got Mario Kart Double Dash, Call of Duty Black Ops, Fat Princess, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Time Splitters 2, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and Pokemon Diamond Version, all representing my favorite childhood games. And I'll be explaining these in a later video when I do revisit these games, hopefully in the future on the channel. And I'm gonna say some honorable mentions that I really wanted to put on the list, but I couldn't because there's too many. So let's just say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was one of my honorable mentions, Dynasty Warriors, Red Alert, Wii Sports, Left 4 Dead, Ragnarok Online, Street Fighter, Tekken, Diablo, Smite, League of Legends, and Little Big Planet. And I'll get into those games in the future when I revisit all these games in the channel. I'll play all of them. Hopefully that is my goal. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys a 3x3 of games that I'm enjoying currently right now, or maybe the past year. And starting it off, we're going to start with Fortnite. As you know, I've been making content for that for almost 6 years now on the other channel, JohnnyDJokage channel. And yeah, I gotta say Fortnite's there. We got Doom Eternal, Lethal Company, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and Deep Rock Galactic, Street Fighter 6, Predecessor, Cookie Run Kingdom, and Valorant. And I'll get into those games sometime when I revisit again, like what I did with the other 3x3. And don't worry, this is the last one, guys. This is the last 3x3 that I want to play right now, and these are games that are already out. I'll probably show pre-order. Actually, no, I should not show pre-order games. You know, I'm gonna save that surprising for you guys. But see, you can see here we have Final Fantasy. I want to get into the whole series. I want to play from Final Fantasy 1 until whatever they're on right now, 17, 18, and I can't believe that Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is here. So maybe that's also a reason why I really want to get to Final Fantasies, because people are enjoying that. And yeah, so we also got Zelda here, Breath of the Wild. I really want to get into Link games. I only played one as Ocarina of Time, but that was with my friends. And we got Nier Automata, Hades, Cyberpunk 2077, Melatonin, Ghost of Tsushima, Elden Ring, and Tomb Raider. And actually, some of these games are what my friends played, and I do want to play games that they've played so I can see why they enjoyed it and all that. And that should cover a little bit about me before you guys get into my content, and you know, like why I started, where I started, you know, like everything I want to do on this channel, and what kind of games I've played and want to revisit, and future games, and all that good stuff. And yes, I'm gonna try to play every game one step at a time, and I want to go by that for a very very long time now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a like, dislike, subscribe, put on that notification bell on. That should be the end of this introductory video. Can't wait to see what happens for this channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.